You're listening to the Moist Boys Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Moist Boys Podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Moist Boys?
Where everything is awful.
Featuring the Moist Boys.
Everything is the worst, so we're never doing this again.
You say that every time Josue and I are on, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the same room anyways.
Fool me thrice. That's on you.
Christ
baby.
on a cracker.
7 crackers.
Folks.
Is Ritz a cracker?
Do we have cheese?
Riddle me that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What the fuck is this conversation right now?
A butter
All right,
cracker?
folks, we did it. It's April. Racism is over. COVID's over. Welcome to the podcast.
I was going to say, I'm a butter cracker.
You can really move.
God damn.
I came to party. I've had a third of this Italian beer.
You've been nursing that beer.
Yeah.
Through an entire fucking movie.
Well, you know
dude.
what? I prefer it room temperature.
Okay.
Okay,
I
I
like it
don't
being-
like cold things, and I still do not
I like
prefer
my
room temperature.
I like my beer being a little viscous. This basically tastes like a Italian Heine. It's an Italian Heine. Swiggity swoo. I'm coming for
Swiggity
you.
swag.
Wiggity swag.
Yeah.
Drink.
Speaking of swiggity swag, let's
Wow.
talk about this movie because I got a voice actor I need to talk about.
Wait, do we have merchandise? You said swiggity swag.
Swiggity
You
swag.
said swiggity swag.
No, I said
Winking
swiggity
that.
swag.
I love that I've pulled you all down to my level.
Today we're talking about everybody's favorite cute blue boy, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Folks, you ever want to see James Marsden finger blast a blue hedgehog? I got the film for you.
I mean, trust me, there's fan fiction out there. Go read it.
Oh,
Not what this movie's about. Or is it?
Isn't it?
Oh God, I'm so dead inside.
Made along the way.
So we're slowly easing our way into It's Good Actually, our continuing series of films that we're
Because it's good.
Actually.
Actually,
That's good.
we started off with a 73% on Rotten Tomatoes film.
Oh, wait, this isn't It's Good Actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
What was the first one?
Harley, maybe
Real Steel.
Real
Real Steel, you doof.
That's a terrible movie.
Oh, no.
Oh, now we know why he didn't want to be on that episode.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that shit.
I hate you so much,
You hate me so much. You made me
It's
shirt.
good, actually.
And I love it.
so much.
You know,
Hey, Harley, what does your shirt say?
yeah, that's fair.
It says Harley sucks.
It does. Johnny made me a shirt. I wear it a lot.
So we're talking about a film. This film.
Yep,
Us,
who's
the Moist
we?
Boys Podcast. We're talking about this film, and we
I'm not
are.
setting you up for anything ever again.
Yep. Hit us, Josh.
It's episode.
Literally every
Who are
time you
you?
just fucking lob it over the plate, and
John
he just
just-
catches it and throws it into
Just
the fucking
throws
stands.
it to the ground.
To be fair, I was in the middle of a sentence before Harley interrupted me, and
That's
then
fair.
everything went off the rails. Someone trying to get us back onto the rails
Get us back, Daddy.
of the podcast.
Skip to 4 minutes to start the podcast, everybody.
Yeah,
Yep.
But we're talking
Timestamp
about-
included below.
it's good actually. Episode 2.
So this is the second one.
No, this is the 5th one. A film that this was my selection. A film that was grading on a bit of a curve. This was a film that I saw in the theaters in the year of our Lord 2020. One of the last ones, right before
Shutdown.
Yeah. Right
Oh,
before
so
the
this was
shutdown.
released in theaters.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
You see, Harley, when movies come out into the world,
Well, yeah,
they
I
are
just
released
wasn't
into
sure
theater.
if this was
Not
before or
always.
after.
Sometimes
so.
they're direct to video.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
you could have Wonder Woman to this up.
I wasn't sure if this is a film that actually made the theaters due to COVID or if it was released. So
I know.
that's-
I was just being an asshole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
being
that's
an
fine.
asshole to your asshole. Just saying.
I think it was a valid
Just-
question.
Let's like Taco Bell.
Just a big collection of assholes here.
Nice.
So this film was graded on a bit of a curve because this was like of all the movies I saw in theaters in 2020, this was the second best one and then the last good one. So I wanted to talk about it today. But before we get started, I'm going to pick up the lob that Heather sent my way.
It's fucking been sitting there for 5 minutes. I guess
It's been hovering in the midair like Sonic.
Yeah, my name's Josh.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm the worst. And also Harley.
And in that order.
Joshua.
And I'm the ignored your best bro, Heather.
Best bro Heather.
And today we're talking about
Sonic
the Hedgehog.
Skip to 6 minutes to start the podcast.
Yeah.
Consort.
I'm going to skip to 57 minutes to start the podcast. That's what I'm going to the name of this episode.
Timestamp included below.
So this film has a Rotten Tomatoes in the mid 60s or low 60s. But the reason I picked it is because there weren't a lot of good movies that came out in the year of our Lord 2020. They've been saving most of the good big blockbusters for now, which doesn't make sense since we're like things are arguably worse now than a year ago.
Yeah.
When we needed the movies.
Yeah.
We needed it most.
But
Hollywood wasn't there for us when we needed them most.
Damn it.
I guess they were still working out exactly what they were going to do, how they were going to release this stuff, how much of a loss they could take, how much of a loss was actually a gain in the situation.
And I don't think anyone really knew how long this was all going to last for.
It's going to be 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
All making out at theaters again.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if a single fucking person had taken it seriously.
I took it very seriously. It's literally the only thing I've ever taken seriously.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
our listeners agree.
Checks out.
What's up? Here's to you, Shofi guy. I love you.
We all love
Nicole
Shofi
Bart.
guy.
He's
The OG.
But in a year of like Bad Boys, 3 Ever, and
There's a weird correlation between these two movies I'll point out in a second. But
wait.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
They both have very little Martin Short in them.
no Martin
Martin Lawrence. Oh no. Fuck. Yeah, whatever.
so yes.
I mean, he is short, and his name is Martin. So I think I'm not that far off.
Short Martin.
racist.
Short Martin.
Let's see. Bad Boys, 3 Life, and what else? Call of the Wild. Like this
little.
Buck.
Buck.
Oh, is
This-
that the Sad Dog movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This a film whose effects are arguably much worse than Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's fair.
This was a bright spot in an otherwise not bright year.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because we get to unload our, maybe not even talk about the movie. We can just talk about 2020 and how much we needed better, nice things.
That's fair.
And I feel like the movie does good stuff.
Yeah.
Compared to its contemporaries and other similar live action cartoon adaptations of properties.
So I guess I'm interested why this film came up. So this is relatively and or critically regarded as a bad film.
I wouldn't say,
And it's like it's actually good. Like to earn the it's actually good moniker.
It's in the 60s.
yeah.
Got it.
But it's one of those things that if you are online or you listen to the nerdier side of podcasts, like IGN podcasts, things like that, people tend to
Talk about
talk it up.
Yeah.
Not like it's a good movie, but it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's passable. It's like what you think
Kind of
of if
thing.
you're going to go. Yeah.
So for me coming into this, I feel like I've heard a lot of praise for this, despite how well it did in theaters with critics, whatever. I have heard lots of praise.
Well, I mean,
for
it's
it,
not like you
so-
can really judge this film too on its like financial success, considering that the
Right.
world literally blew up like right before it came out in theaters. So, and I mean, granted, I mean, obviously there was some controversy with like the redesign that I'm sure we'll get into, but interesting.
Yeah. But I really didn't pay much attention to this film after it came out. After I saw it, I did. If you just look up Moist Boys reviews back in the day when I could go to the theaters and see films and do reviews there.
Oh yeah.
But like a lot of the backlash to this film was more pre-lash. I want to say like this was probably one of the more despised films of 2020 before it came out.
Slashing in general. Yeah. There was a huge response to seeing that original design,
which
Sonic.
To be fair, I mean, it was pretty rough.
It was ugly.
It was ugly,
but
like I love it, but it was ugly.
Fit the idea of what often happens with adaptions like this, in that we cannot make it look as cartoony, as dumb as that sounds, not make it look as cartoony as the source material has it. So we need to make it look like it would exist in our world.
Yeah, they tried to deviate, which obviously was met with not people being super stoked, to put it elegantly.
Yeah, and I think there's a not necessarily an overlap, but like I think the MCU has galvanized people in such a way of just being like, no, you literally can give us the thing. And so I think that's where, and don't online bully people.
Totally.
Because I feel like there could have been a way to go about this where it would have been just like petitions, like get people like, get some backing for it, because you know that there was like 3 weeks where animators had to just say goodbye to their families and fucking hunker down to fucking MS Paint over that original design.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so if the community wants it, put up or shut up.
Yeah.
Kind of like start an online campaign, not an online campaign to fucking
like a shit storm or like a smear campaign or like a let's call and or like message or email these animators who are literally just doing their job and tell them that they're going to die. I mean, that's just the internet in general right now. It's just kind of a shitty place for really any, I guess, fan culture.
I mean, flip side of that also is by them giving us this Sonic kind of sends that message of like, oh, that works.
We'll bend.
Yeah, exactly.
Like bully the shit out of people when you don't like the way it looks, because you'll get what you want. Kind of like unintended messaging.
Yeah.
Which from an outsider's perspective, also why we're getting a Snyder cut.
Yeah.
I think that's it's okay to bully a movie studio though, because they suck, as we've previously talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, it's okay to voice your displeasure or dissent towards like a certain, artistic direction. But again, it's just like it's singling out. Yeah, like you said, like fucking go after the studios. Don't go after the individuals, because they're just doing their job, doing the best they can.
And like the Justice League had already come out. And so it was done. Everybody had gone home, like everything, like everybody washed their hands of the whole thing. It was done. They get to, and then like it happened later on, as opposed to they're like, here's something. And then it was immediately like, no, all of you have to do unpaid work to rectify our situation.
Well, I mean, at least from my understanding, they took like another year to release this film, right?
No, it was like 2 months.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
a lot of this was already like cut and print. Like it was.
Yeah. And it's just the problem with like crunch culture. Like I'm okay. Like if a studio is getting that feedback and says, oh, okay, obviously y'all don't want what we're selling. Let's go. Let's go make this better. I think that's okay. But to make it, to shove it in like a 2-month deadline is insane. And I mean, I think that's definitely something that's maybe not as prevalent in like movies, but is extremely common in like game production, which is a total issue in the industry. And it's sad that that's now carrying over. And of course, that's because it's fucking related to a video game character. And I mean, you just deal with the same garbage people involved. So I'm over it. Sorry, I have feelings. Fight me. I'm Johnny today. Come fight me.
Soapbox.
Yep. I got my 32-ounce Miller High Life, and I'm ready to punch.
There you go.
But I think all that as compared to other films that have gone through tumultuous production issues, I feel like this one did not come out as bad as it could have.
No.
I think the effects that they turned in were adequate for a children's film.
Yeah. And I think I'm sure that I think the Josue could probably talk about this a little bit more in depth. But let's all be clear: like, this is a children's movie. This is not a film that was created and produced exclusively to cater to like the mid 30-something-year-old who's been playing Sonic their entire life and for some reason wants to see it on the screen with fervent,
right.
Like this is a children's movie and should be, expectations should be adjusted.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, not to say you can't have good children's movies, but...
Well, no, it's unfair to judge this movie for doing what a kid's movie does.
Yeah.
Like, it's unfair to judge it harshly, I guess, for being a kid's movie when it's not trying to be anything else.
Yeah.
But putting that expectation in place, like the movie, it hits a lot of really good boxes. It hits a lot for a kid's movie. Its pace is really well.
Yeah.
It's characters, its actors, everyone's in it to be in it, and
they're all in it to win it.
Absolutely.
And I think it's as successful for what it does as well as the pitfalls that it avoids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially in the live action, there are a lot of tropes that you see that I feel like this movie avoids. As far as like, it doesn't go too deep into the like scatological humor that you could see a lot of things do. It doesn't like it. There's a sprinkling of it, but it's not like it avoids some of the stock jokes, like it doesn't do that was dot awesome joke that appears in like every kid's film now. Lord. That I'm just like, okay, and then sometimes it pops up in films for adults. I'm just like, really? We're taking kids' jokes now and putting them in Ghostbusters 2016, motherfuckers? That's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other conversation.
Speaking of controversial reactions to films, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
No.
We're talking about Sonic.
That being said, though, actually, if we're talking about in the future other films that probably could fall into the it's actually good, I haven't seen it, so I'd be interested in talking about that. But
I feel like there weren't enough people willing to badmouth it at the time.
That's fair.
For it to qualify.
That checks out.
Because before it came out, like everyone had like, well, we have to like it because otherwise we're aligned with these people, which is one of the reasons why the Moist Boys exist, because
we're breaking those boundaries, baby.
I want to avoid that as much as possible.
Oh, yeah, we're not breaking those boundaries. Nope. What?
No, we are breaking the boundaries.
We are breaking the boundaries. Okay. I wasn't sure where we landed. Cool.
The Dry Guys aren't breaking boundaries.
We're going with the flow.
Yeah. See, the Moist Boys, we have absolutely no clout to lose.
Got it.
The Dry Guys are chasing our lack of
We
clout.
have nothing but clout. We are clout machines.
Yeah. Real
we
quick.
generate clout.
Real
baby.
quick.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that like can we not necessarily use the term like kids movie as a like swear word, as it were, like just because like there are like movies that are for kids, and then there are movies that are air quotes for kids that are just like straight up garbage,
that are literally just here to take your money.
And really what Sonic does, and it's the same thing that a lot of things recently are doing, is millennials are now parents. Mm-hmm. And we all grew up with these properties, and what they're making now are movies for us to take our kids to. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what Sonic is. It's a movie for millennial parents who grew up playing Sonic, watching the awful animated show.
God, they were so good. I don't know if you're talking about.
Wait, what? Whoa.
It's a movie for us to be like, okay, this is something I'm going to enjoy. This is a property I already enjoy and know about. Let me take my kid to this so that I don't have to sit through another... I don't...
Emoji.
I don't have to sit through an Emoji Movie. I don't have to sit through another Minions. I don't have to sit through another Despicable Me.
I get to go sit through something that I think I'm going to actually enjoy.
I actually like Despicable Me.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the first Despicable Me is...
the only one I like is
flaw.
the
Well, I guess that maybe that's
flaw.
Maybe that's our
brought us Minions.
Maybe that's our definition of like a kids movie versus a movie made for kids.
Well,
but first Despicable Me is a kids movie. What follows is a movie made for kids to sell merchandise.
Yes.
Right. But I mean, that was kind of my point, to say like it's unfair to use kids movie and use that as the reason why this is a bad movie.
It shouldn't be a pejorative term.
It should not be, because this is...
Thank you. Pejorative is the word I was looking for, and I could not come up with it.
I got you, baby.
That's good.
What you should actually not do is take this movie so seriously that you write the following: bland, flat, basic, off-the-shelf pablum, meeting the minimum requirements of being technically a movie because someone paid for the rights to Sonic the Hedgehog and had to make it eventually. An even worse version of Howard the Duck, 2 out of 10.
I will take that down. I'm sorry I wrote that.
Wait, I liked Howard the Duck.
I've never seen it.
It's fine.
Oh, it's great.
I mean,
it was weird.
See, I guess here's the problem that I keep having is that like
that is not a kid's movie.
That is not a kid. But I mean, it's very
He's got
much
a corkscrew
movie.
dick. And he pulls it out.
Yeah,
It's got duck fucking
duck fucking
for kids.
Nope.
duck fucking
furries.
Yeah,
It's fine. Furries are normal.
It was the 80s, man.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like, I don't know. There is a certain... There's a certain kind of like reoccurring trend that I'm seeing now. And I'm going to use some big air quotes, kids movies. Like, thinking about what was a kids movie in the 90s. Like, that shit ran the gambit. Like, The Goonies was technically a kids movie.
The Gambit?
What did I say?
You said Gambit.
Well, I don't care.
It's an entirely different word, my friend.
Well, you're an entirely different word.
Fair point.
And you know what that word is? A good friend.
Delightful.
Sweetie.
3 words.
You bitch. You dumb bitch.
That's 2 words, you sack of shit.
Well, I mean, but you know what I mean, though. Like there is something that's relatively sterile about like what is now a kid. I will. I am halfway through this Peroni now, thank you, and I'm talking about my kids' shows.
Movies.
I'm gonna kick myself in the head, and I can tell you, I can't reach. So someone's gonna have to help me. There's something that seems relatively sterile about these. Yeah, right. That's the word.
That's the word. You're good. Keep going.
word.
Keep the train moving.
Keep going.
Reel it in. Woo! Oh my god, I'm pulling a Johnny. There's something that just lacks, you know, a certain degree of like character and a certain degree of like kind of riskiness compared to a lot of the films in like of like the 90s of our generation. And I think like I guess that's the thing. That's what makes it so tough, you know, talking about kids movies that have come out in like, you know, the aughts or, you know, what follows is that there is a certain degree that I feel like in the majority of kids movies, we're starting to lose the nods to the parents. The jokes that, you know, would fly under the radar of any child watching, but like are specifically meant to cater. So like I would say like for a movie like Despicable Me, the first one, like there are definitely jokes laid out that no kid would understand, but like would cater to the adult watching. And I guess that's like for me what defines a kids movie versus a movie made for children is that a movie made for children is kind of just noise, color, and then a character to sell merchandise, whereas a kids movie at least is able to kind of transcend, you know, what it is and the character that it's trying to convey and the simplicity in which it's trying to convey its narrative to something that's kind of more universally appreciated. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else is universally appreciated?
When I don't talk for that long.
Making sure that if you turn your head, you position yourself in front of the microphone still.
What?
No.
No, that's fine.
Oh, no. I was
in the
yelling
room.
so loud, I'm sure everyone else's mics picked me up.
I mean, it was fine. Yeah,
One of the things that this film doesn't do that I appreciate is that the main character is not a child.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which is something that
Yeah, no,
you don't
I mean,
see-
James Marsden's what, probably in his 30s or
He's got to be in his mid-40s by now.
40s, yeah.
He's, yeah.
Is he 50?
I disagree.
Oh.
What?
That I don't like that the main character is not a kid. It feels less realistic. This
That's
is
fair.
a weird thing to say, but it feels very naive of the movie to assume that a grown man would have this thing roll in off the street and then just be like, "Okay, I guess I'm going to protect this now. Let's go take it to." Let's go
He's
take it down
Donut
the
Lord.
sandwich. I
Donut
understand
Lord.
this.
I
but
mean, he also
I
they
just, like,
do a lot
there's
of that setup. Like,
Yeah.
the way he's talking to the ducks.
ducks and the I know, but
He's
I'm
a-
just
he's a
saying, like,
caregiver.
guy.
he's a caregiver. But I feel like in these movies they usually have it be children
Yeah.
because the fact is a 9-year-old's gonna more likely be like, this thing's really cool. Let's go take care
I'm going
of
to go
this.
on an adventure.
Yeah, I'm
But a
gonna go on an adventure.
9-year-old can't drive from the middle of
I
Oregon
am
to San Francisco.
aware that the
I mean,
or
storyline
fight
wouldn't work with it.
Dr. Robotnik.
But
Or
I'm just saying,
punch Dr. Robotnik in the face.
I'm just saying it makes more sense usually
I
to
think the
have a
part-
child as the main character.
Yeah, I think part of the reason that they went not child also is that somebody at one point took a look at the script and was like, "This is ET, y'all.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We got to take a step back and change something."
I mean, Sonic also fills
Like a
that
child.
role
Yeah,
to a
he's a
point,
child.
so that
Yeah.
watching Marsden and Sonic, however old Sonic is supposed to be, feels like a kid running around with a surrogate father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A kid
So-
on way too much sugar.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like 99% of children's things now are children doing the adventures, even when it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So it's like, as a child growing up, it was exciting to see adults get up into situations and be like, someday I'll be able to do that, even though like
Someday I'll be an adult.
Trust me,
As
kids.
opposed to like being a
it's
kid
not worth it.
watching. Yeah.
watching
It's
other kids
not
being
worth
like,
it.
I'll never be able to do. I only got a couple years left to do this. I'll never get around to doing this, and
Yeah.
then it never comes to pass.
I'll never be on a Pee Wee football team. I'll never be on a Pee Wee fucking soccer team. I'll never be on a Pee Wee Little League team.
That
I'll
sounds
never
like
be
because
in-
you just didn't want to play sports.
Can
I
you
had
say
asthma. Thank you.
Can you do me a favor and say Pee Wee one more time?
I'll never be on a Pee Wee hockey team.
yeah.
I'll never be on the Pee Wee's
Because
Playhouse.
the rest
I'll
of us,
never be on Pee Wee's Playhouse.
I don't think anyone should be on Pee Wee's Playhouse
Yeah.
or in Pee Wee's Playhouse. I don't know.
Yeah.
Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Just him and Larry Fishburne.
Wait. Morpheus?
yeah.
That's like a big start for him.
Yeah.
That's like
He was Cowboy Larry?
Cowboy Larry.
Wait.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne
wait, what?
Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Fuck off.
No, he
Really?
was.
Yeah.
Wait, why don't I remember that?
Go watch Pee Wee's.
Fine. I will.
Why don't we do that?
Or don't watch Pee Wee's Playhouse.
I probably
Either
will.
way.
I
And
probably
don't get your house raided by the FBI. It's up to you.
Fine.
Speaking of adults, I like James Marsden in this. I think he does a good.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
charming.
For those of you, part of the reason why I picked this one too is because if you listen to the Action Boys podcast, you'll know that we're steeped in the James Marsden.
Oh, James Marsden is literally the foundation which we build all of our comedy off of at this point.
Pretty much.
And he doesn't die in this film.
Nope.
And he
No.
doesn't
Doesn't.
get, for lack of a better term, hella cucked. So you know.
Give it 2 more of these movies.
That's fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sonic 2 is going to be rough.
Knuckles
It's
gonna
basically
knuckle him.
no, it's going to be Shadow, baby. He's going to show up like, "Do you like my Uzi?" And Tails will be like, "Yeah, what?
No.
What? Yeah, no, I mean, Sonic 2 is definitely going to be the Empire Strikes Back of the Sonic trilogy. For sure.
I mean, for sure.
For
all I
sure.
know, all I will say. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm not a furry.
All I'm going to say is that if you have to preface something by saying you're not a furry, you got to take a long look in that mirror, muchacho.
Now, the existence, spoiler alert,
'Cause he's a
the
furry.
existence of Tails in this movie
Oh, God.
tells me that at some point, that also confirms.
Amy!
Now, fuck Amy.
I mean,
Tries.
It
the
confirms the existence of Rouge the Bat. And that is all I need in
yeah,
life.
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know what that means, and I refuse
Bat is
to
big
acknowledge
titty
it.
bat. That's all it is.
That
Big
is
titty bat.
Big titty.
Yep, that's all that is.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Elegantly and
Josh is
eloquently.
looking it up now.
Thanks, Josue.
No.
Thanks for just
Big.
Yes.
Yeah. Nope. No further. That's all there is to say about
See where
that.
that is gonna just throw a little period at the end of that sentence.
Full
Move
stop.
on. Yep.
I appreciate that Tika Sumpter, who plays Maddie, they don't try to create an artificial schism there to drag out the runtime.
Oh, thank God.
Which, like, people are more adaptive than a lot of movies would lead you to believe. If I literally see something in front of me, I'm not going to create artificial drama by just going out of my way to be an asshole like a lot of things.
Speak for yourself, my friend, because if there's one thing Harley likes, it's drama.
Oh, I thought you were going to say being an asshole.
I mean, if the hat fits.
I feel like that's
Does it?
No, not really. It keeps falling.
I mean,
it
it's
looks
been-
like it doesn't.
I was gonna
How
say,
dare?
it's been falling off the back of your head all night
It's
long.
a brand new hat. Y'all need to get off my jock about this.
But
It just can't stay there because it's got to show off the man bun.
I was gonna say it's got to make room for the man bun.
Yeah.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
No, it's no.
Oh, no, it's no.
No, it's
I mean, I hate to break it to you, bro, but this isn't. Oh God, no! I can't. I can't do it.
No.
I can't. Never mind.
No.
You are not the last samurai.
That's
That's
somebody
the one.
else made the reference. It wasn't me going off about Japan after a couple beers.
But I guess like the having a character not be supportive is more of a television series thing.
Yeah, not being supportive of the choices that your friends makes is a really dick thing that never shows up in real life. Is it? My hair's
I mean, only when they make bad choices.
Oh,
You look great, buddy. Don't let
Everything's
anybody.
fine.
Josue,
don't
help
let
me kick
anybody talk
myself
to
in the head. I promised it, and it's gonna happen now. I'm gonna bend over. Oh, yeah, right there. Okay, thank you. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that worked. Thanks.
So how does everybody feel about Jim Carrey in this thing? I think he was fine.
I think it's
I think it's fine. Back to James Marsden.
back to
No,
Rouge the
sorry.
Bat.
Back to
reality.
Rouge the
Back
Bat
to-
there.
back to-
no, but like James Marsden. So
Well,
obviously we were talking about like this movie is what it is. But like one of the positive things that I will say about this movie is that like regardless of whatever was happening in here, I had a smile on my face during this entire movie, and part of that I think had to be because like James Marsden is the most aware that he is in a movie through this entire thing.
yeah.
And he never like comes down from that. He's just like, oh yeah, this is a movie, I'm gonna roll with it.
Yeah, he rolls with everything. He does it in a very straight way. Like he's playing the straight man at the same time as like just rolling with these punches. Like
Yeah.
there's a crazy psychotic little blue person whose life I'm trying to save, yet improve. Like, you know what? We're just gonna go with this.
yeah.
Had a good time.
James Marsden has a strange career because I feel like he gives 110% at all the time, but also like nobody cares.
Which is
Yeah,
so
it doesn't matter
sad.
if it's X-Men.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it's fucking 27 dresses. Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
he's
Great
good
film.
in that too.
Doesn't matter if it's Sonic the fucking Hedgehog. He is there.
He's just out there doing his best.
He's just doing
I
his
feel
best.
like you could tell he was having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fun.
I feel like he's going to be one of those actors in like, I don't know, like 30 or 40 years when he's like in his
Dead?
twilight years. I mean, yeah, probably. Well, you know what I mean. I mean no, he's not that old. Jesus.
I was Jesus and Josh
Yeah.
over here.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I feel like he's
You
just
said
going to...
40 years from now.
He could be in his 80s, man.
Yeah,
Leave
I mean,
him
Betty
alone.
White's still kicking. And then that was going to be my comparison, is that I feel like he's just going to be, at least from my me having absolutely no knowledge of what James Marsden is like as a person or in Hollywood.
Probably a sack of shit.
I don't think that's necessarily true, though.
He's
No, I
47, by the way.
Like 47?
He's 47.
Look at him go.
Yeah. Wait,
gonna-
he's 47?
He's 47.
47?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
You got them Tom Cruise jeans.
That's true. That's true.
Except
They both wear Wranglers, I think.
I was gonna say, are they like size 28?
is James Marsden a Scientologist, I wonder?
Oh yeah, those thetons seem pretty balanced to me.
Yeah.
I got him.
Hell yeah.
I'm full of them.
I was so what all I was gonna
Literally.
say is I feel like based off of his like commitment to giving to the role, and I mean obviously like he, you know, the roles that he gets aren't the best, but I just feel like I don't know. There's something about him that just like makes me feel like he's a good guy. And
He just
I know,
seems like a goddamn cinnamon roll.
yeah, exactly. Just want to cover him with like
he's
sweet
got
sugar.
3 kids.
Ugh.
He's got nothing. I'm like literally looking at his like.
no,
I'm looking
Take
at
back
his
everything I
personal
said.
life, and like there's nothing. There's like nothing. Like
there's nothing. James Marsden is nothing.
James Marsden, nothing.
Well, I think
he's one of 5 kids.
he's
Jesus.
I don't know.
Where
He's
is he in
someone
that
who
hierarchy?
is, you're right, he gives 110%. I would compare him to James McAvoy,
Yeah.
who is similar, like whatever role you put him in. The movie may be complete fucking garbage.
But he's
Like
never
trans.
going to
But
phone
he is
it.
never going to be like, oh, fuck, I guess I'm getting a paycheck for this.
Yep.
Fuck
Yeah.
this. Like, he is going to be the best thing in that.
Yeah.
And I think Marsden is similar, but I don't know if it's Marsden, if it's just dumb luck with the roles that fall under what directors and who is, like, I think it's just dumb luck in his choice of films.
Yeah.
Who he's being cast as something he is much better than,
Yeah.
Yeah.
versus someone like James McAvoy, who is
Yeah, I feel like he gets
kind of picking and choosing what he wants at times.
not always like prestige film, but I mean, at
Right.
least something that's like maybe has the ability to be delved into a little bit more intellectually, I guess.
The people who are hiring him want to look at him, whereas
Yeah.
Marsden is kind of filling a role a lot of times it fills.
Yeah, absolutely. Even in this film, I feel like they wrote this film for Chris Pratt. Was Chris Pratt supposed to be
I hope
in
not.
this film?
I would
I
not
really
have.
don't.
I would not have enjoyed this 1/10 if it
I
had
would
been
have
Chris
enjoyed
Pratt.
it had it been Chris Pine.
I could
fair.
see myself in a Chris Pine in this film.
That's fair.
Set your phone to dark mode.
No, it's no.
So,
I'm sorry. I keep.
No, it's no.
I don't know. It's not even my joke. Hey, so how about that,
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Jim
I like Jim
Carson.
Carrey in this.
As I like to say, Jim K.
Jimmy K.
For some reason,
Even though it's a C.
James Cagney.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Good old
Damn.
Jimmy Katzenberg.
Oh.
So this is I throw it around a lot. This is vintage like Jim Carrey. This is like Jim Carrey doing what everyone thinks Jim Carrey only does.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though he has kind of dropped a lot of it.
For the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And he is just kind of like either a little bit there, but this is very much like and that works with the movie and it works against it at times,
Yeah.
but it's still
I guess to your point, like this, like Jim Carrey as that Jim Carrey, like 90s Jim Carrey, like he existed in those films that were built specifically around the character that he was in that film. Like Ace Ventura. Like those films were zany, front to back. Whereas I feel like with this film, it does try to play things a little more straight. And then you just kind of inject Jim
Right.
Carrey dancing. And it's like,
Right.
oh, well, this is...
It's
Fun.
not that that's bad.
No. It's just
but
different.
it is not.
It can clash.
It a little bit.
Without proper finesse, it can clash.
So what you're saying is this movie needed that little touch of transphobia right at the end to just
There
really
you
sell
go.
it.
There it is. Yes,
As someone
absolutely.
to grab the
No.
wheel and
I'm sorry.
drive it
Steer
off
it
the
back
cliff.
Nobody
to
else gonna
safe ground.
nobody else gonna pick that one up.
No.
no.
As someone who's not steeped in the Sonic lore, does Dr. Robotnik have a character? Like, is there a specific
Did Jim
representation?
Carrey encapsulate the character from the games? Is that what you're asking?
Well, I mean, obviously the games don't really have a.
Yeah.
But I know there's a
games.
cartoon.
Right, yeah.
So spoilers. What Jim Carrey was doing at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
Yes,
Feels
that feels very much more in line. He's always portrayed as overconfident but competent,
Yeah.
and Jim Carrey does a lot of that. In
I would say I
this.
really get that from Jim Carrey.
And so it's a yes and no sort of answer in that.
Yeah.
The way the character is presented in the beginning of this, throughout this until the climax, the final battle, and the ending, it works as much for a precursor story for who Robotnik was prior to
like
dealing with Sonic, I guess.
The character of Robotnik prior to the very end of the film is confident, competent, but doesn't necessarily have that tinge of madness.
Right.
Whereas what goes on in the movie kind of pushes him over the edge.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it one of those, to borrow a character, is it one of those like Joker things where you can just make the before times whatever the fuck you want and it doesn't matter?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm okay with that.
Well, I think that's one thing that kind of jumped out to me, and I so full transparency.
Oh, I thought you were gonna borrow Jonathan's term for a second there.
Oh, okay.
Full transphobia.
Oh,
Wait, what's my term? What?
Transphobia. That's
so to be clear,
So we're talking about transparency.
You're referring to the Finkel is Einhorn is Finkel trope that's in Ace Ventura, right?
Yes, I was
Yeah.
referring
Which
to
is
that,
very
saying
unfortunate,
that it's like a very
and has really not aged well. Like
really not
like
aged
the
well.
most not aged well for sure.
To be fair, was terrible then.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, very true as well. What was I saying? Oh, regarding sorry, that's gonna be a harsh pivot. Sorry, guys. Here we go. So the one thing that jumped out at me, full transparency, I actually had not watched this film because I did not realize we were talking about this film
Because
today.
you don't read the
Because
group
I don't
chat.
read the group chat and
the
I'm
subtext.
exactly the sub.
The subtext of "Hey, watch this movie."
Yeah,
It's really got lost in there.
I hadn't dove deep enough into that,
Yeah.
but so I watched this film today, basically between a couple different recordings. And the one thing that I said aloud is when we were watching this is that there's a very specific scene where you have Jim Carrey's character Dr. Robotnik set up. He's confident and he's kind of that zany like this is who I am and I'm in charge. And I feel like in movies often like the villain is portrayed that way, but never really is competent enough to actually back that up. And I feel like that's one thing that was kind of different in this film is that Jim Carrey as Robotnik was competent. Like he kicked ass. He basically like did all the things he basically set out to do. I mean, it was just kind of like the final battle, whatever that kind of resulted in things not going his way. Which I don't know. I guess that's. I don't know if I'm just like making more of that than needs to.
Well,
be.
no,
but
I think if just kind of jumping to that end.
Yeah.
If Sonic does not build that confidence and decide to. What he says, I'm choosing not to run away.
Yeah.
If he were to continue to run away, Robotnik will continue.
Yeah.
So, stand up to your bullies.
Yeah, exactly.
guess.
Well, and I think it makes a little bit more. I mean, not to dive too deep into this, but it actually makes like the arc that Sonic's character go through actually mean a little bit more because obviously, like this villain is actually has somewhat of a significant threat. Like there's a certain threat level. There's a certain competency to him. So like left in a void, he's going to do what he set out to do. This isn't Home Alone where you just have two bumbling idiots who are just kind of obviously are going to ruin their own plans. Like this is actually someone who could make these things happen. So
To be fair, having rewatched Home Alone recently, they do steal shit.
that's fair.
They are fairly competent. They just, went against a fucking sociopath right at the end of the movie.
That's fair.
Yeah.
They wandered into the fucking forest in Washington State, not knowing that John Rambo was out there.
I don't know. I feel like Heather and Johnny know this about me pretty well at this point, watching as many movies together as we have. But like, I get really weird about like a show's villain. Like I feel like if a villain isn't done well, that can for me throw in at least like in a film that has a villain or actually has to have like a specific conflict, that can actually be kind of a make or break thing for me. And this actually surprised me, and that it actually did, I think, fairly well setting up that threat. So
Yeah. Well, to your point, I feel like you see this with a lot of shows now too, where the competency of even the heroes is only told and not shown, and then it's funny that this quote unquote kids film does a better job of showing than a lot of like. There was something that I was watching recent. Oh, I've been like watching Star Trek Discovery. Like all the characters are always telling us how great everybody is, but all we're seeing is the miserable failures just stacked up against each other. And it's like, when do we get to see this competence that we are constantly told about?
yeah.
And so every once in a while, it's nice to actually be shown these like setting up, here's them being successful, and then here's the rest of it, as opposed to just
Hey, they're great.
Hey, they're really good, but they're failing now, so you know the stakes are high.
Well, I guess that's the problem though, is that like writing failure is easy because you just have things not go the right way. But like writing success is difficult because then you actually have to think things out logically. Like, how would this actually work? How would these pieces come together, and not a way that's just, oh, duh, aha. You know, to you and I watching the film, like writing success is tough because you actually have to make it kind of a surprise.
And most writers don't know success.
Yeah. Oh. Hey. Oh.
Not wrong.
Oh man. Get
See
this
where
man
I think
a Miller High Life.
where I think a lot of people kind of stumble on that is that people don't realize the success doesn't have to be the end all be all.
That's fair.
It can be little successes along the way up until the one failure that is the big thing.
Yeah.
And so people are just like, well, if they succeed, that's the end of the movie. It's like, well, not necessarily. Yeah. They can succeed in tracking somebody down. Mm-hmm. He does. He succeeds in finding out where Sonic actually is. But then they get out of that because he gets punched in the fucking face.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Like, he succeeds in tapping into Sonic's power. Where he fails is because Sonic is able to take that power back from him.
Yeah, which was not expected.
Which was not expected.
At that point, so. Yeah, I mean,
it's like there's ways to do it, and nobody writes things incrementally anymore.
No,
it's all or nothing.
Exactly.
And so to see a movie where there's like, well, actually, what if you actually had a cat and mouse where the cat is actually catching up with the mouse?
Yeah.
And you actually feel like they have to do this, otherwise. Bad. Game over.
Bad happens.
Bad happens.
I will say as much as there is success as well, like I also enjoy that no one ever really feels like they're bumbling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Sonic feels a little out of place, like just understandably.
Because he's a child,
and
really. I mean, he,
Marsden never feels like a Chris Pratt, like, oh, I got ahead of myself. Oh, I done fucked up.
Yeah.
Kind of like, he never seems like, he seems competent, and the things that happen are because there is either someone better or shit happens.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and that exact, and thank you for saying it, because actually I think that kind of crystallized what we've been talking about very well. It's like that's the piece that just irks me. Like, I don't want Paul Blart Mall Cop. I don't want it.
Oh no,
I don't want it. And and I think that film like really embodies everything that I don't like.
Tune in next month for It's Good Actually.
No,
Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Absolutely not.
No, Paul.
No, Paul. Speaking of films that my father and I went to that eroded our relationship.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No, it's no.
That's a sequel.
Oh.
So let's talk about the relationship between Jim Carrey and his assistant. Who's on board?
No.
That's so toxic. Get off the ship, Harvey.
I'm on the ship, baby.
Get off the ship. It hasn't left the goddamn dock.
But what if he can change?
What
if he can change?
He definitely
clearly
isn't.
cannot.
You have now seen him on a mushroom. World. He's not.
But now he's on mushrooms.
He changes.
Yeah, that's
He
fair.
changes. You know what? I'll give him this. He does have to find. He finds a rock that looks like a shape, and he names him Agent Stone.
He loves the way he makes coffee.
He loves the way he makes
loves
lattes.
it.
Do you think he's an imbecile? Of course he wants a latte. He loves the way he makes it.
I just wanted that assistant to get his at the end.
Like
Well,
murdered?
No.
So
I wanted him to get a win. I wanted him to get.
You don't know.
Sonic
He
is
might
there
be getting-
spinning in his little ball form, and he just like releases the A button, and splatters his fucking head against the
You
wall.
don't
So
know.
I do think
Harvey, maybe he is getting a win. We don't see at the end of his story.
Well, I mean, and granted, I also didn't see the entirety of this movie, so I might have missed it.
Yeah, well, no, we just don't see him. Like
No.
we
He
see
just leaves
him.
the film.
he just
Yeah, we
Justice
see
for
him give a
assistant.
latte.
Justice for assistant.
His name is
what is-
Agent Stone.
His name is Agent Stone. We see him give a latte to Robotnik, and then we never see him again.
Yeah.
So maybe he did get
He's
a
just out
promotion.
there living his best life, not
just running
under the
that-
thumb of
Not
Dr.
being
Robotnik.
in a toxic relationship
Not
with his
being
boss.
throat punched by his boss anymore.
Not being screamed at every
And
day.
I mean, I will give, like, there are lots of little moments where where Jim Carrey is showing his appreciation for this. Like
You
he
can say-
clearly
you can say affection.
identifies.
You can say
You
He
cannot say
clearly
affection.
identifies that this person is my assistant for a reason.
Yeah.
He is just a bad person.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I appreciate that they didn't have to do that thing where just like, oh, this character, we have to like throw in some pablum about. He has to like do a couple of like catchphrases that we've seen online recently to make him seem like a good person. Which I think like a lot of villains will do that, where they're like, oh, he's a bad person, but he knows this phrase from this self-help book, so
He's trying.
yeah,
That's
it's like
fair.
no, sometimes
And I do feel like coming back, this assistant is going to come back to him.
Oh, and he's
Like
definitely
he's
Oh, yeah.
absolutely
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
to come back.
that's what.
Like
Yep.
boy, I can't wait for
not
all the worry wart articles that are going to come out about how Dr. Robotnik's actually a toxic, and we shouldn't be.
he is.
He's gonna
though.
find-
Yeah, no, he definitely is. Like
Agent Stone is gonna be on a date at a fair. He's gonna be
Scandal.
on the Ferris wheel. Robotnik's gonna climb up there, and he's just gonna dangle from a bar and being like, "You got come back and be my assistant. Come be my assistant.
reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance." And he's like, "I
gonna
won't
chuck a rock
climb
at
down until you say you'll be my assistant again." And then like,
I know it.
toxic.
I can
You
picture
had me
this
at
scene.
reconnaissance.
I can.
you
picture
had me
this-
at reconnaissance.
Oh Jesus!
And then he's gonna chuck a rock at his head.
Yeah.
And then James Marsden is sitting next to Agent Stone because that was James Marsden in that movie too.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
What I can picture.
Notebook.
It's from the Notebook.
It's from the Notebook.
Just getting cooked. God bless.
That come back for next month when we watch. It's good actually. The
Everybody
Notebook.
loves that movie.
Yeah, how
except
dare.
Oh, it's a joke.
Wait, except for who?
me. I've never seen it, and I care not. I care not.
You can't
for
say you don't like it if you haven't seen it.
Nicholas Sparks.
Yeah, Harley, you can't say you don't like Real Steel if you haven't watched it.
I make one exception.
Fuck you.
That's based. Never mind. I'm not
It
gonna
was
say that.
real still.
That's too mean.
But anyway,
Real still.
Rocket Soccer.
it's nice to see a villain that
Rocket.
Rocket Johnny's.
Rocket. Arugula.
Jesus.
You fucking Brits.
Oh my god.
Is it because Sprocket Johnny, like Johnny Sprocket?
Johnny Sprocket.
That's
Yeah.
where we got the Johnny Rockets
we all
from.
fucked up. We all fucked up.
I am simultaneously too drunk and not drunk enough for this.
So fennel. Never mind. I don't want to.
Yeah, fuck it.
I don't want to get into it.
That was like a 5 hours ago conversation. We do not need to bring
We
that up.
Donut Lord.
Donut Lord.
Way to bring it back.
Way to bring
So
it back.
what I hope they don't
So
do is
fennel.
make Dr. Robotnik less toxic to like
Yeah.
so that they don't get.
He's a bad guy. He's a cartoon bad guy. Guys.
I mean,
he needs to be a bad guy.
If we can, I mean, if we can worry ward about like Jack Torrance in The Shining, then I think they can do it about just about
Okay,
anybody.
but
So
I'm just saying, like, don't change him. He's a cartoon bad guy. That's what
No,
he
let him
wants to be
descend into madness.
Yeah, don't give him a
Yes.
redemption arc. Yeah, for
And
sure.
also have.
but what if
this person?
what if
So
James
Sonic, like-
Marsden is the clone of Emperor Palpatine?
Damn it, you went there.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Like Sonic reaches out his hand and is like, I want to leave the mushroom world, but I wanted to leave it with Ben.
Gross.
But
And then,
once they
then Robotnik and Sonic can make out.
Yes.
I am on board with this.
Joking aside,
I'm
once
not
they
joking.
start introducing
Yep, that's where we already are.
Shadow the Hedgehog,
Yeah.
they're going to start moving into the clones and the shadowy government,
Yeah,
and the point in which Robotnik is no longer the villain.
Yep, he's the anti-hero.
Because he then becomes with Shadow and Big Titty Rouge.
Yes. Give me that bat.
Okay,
They are like they are part of a.
But I'm the weird one for reading Blades of Fury. I'm just
I
saying.
never once said you're the weird one at all. I mean, I'm on board. I just haven't gotten
No,
around
if
to it yet.
anything, we have just proven Jonathan is right in that same
right in
boat
there.
with
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Yeah.
You just gotta slap big titties. on.
Is that what it is? It's because it's cute gay.
titties.
It's because they're cute gay ice figure skaters.
Damn, Jonathan.
Slap some big titties on him,
It's
Jonathan.
because there's no big
Way to be
titties on 'em.
ignorant.
Sonic. Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude.
So they do the chili dogs.
Yeah,
I was saying, can we talk about the adorable turtle scene?
Oh yeah.
Wait, do I not get to defend myself?
No,
against any of that?
No.
This is just no. This is just this is accepted.
Oh,
This is the episode
fuck.
Jonathan gets canceled.
Yep.
Jesus.
It wasn't 2 episodes.
There's nothing
ago.
wrong with being a furry. It's okay.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the.
Oh,
he
Johnny-
doesn't like it because there's
Johnny
gay
did not
people
like the
in
gays.
it.
Yeah.
No, that's not God. Don't put that out in the world.
Gay furries. He
Jesus.
doesn't, guys,
your
it's gay
transphobia.
furries. He doesn't like gay furries.
Wow.
I hear Ben Shapiro's hiring. If you want to get in trouble over there.
Go work with
Two demographics just getting axed by Johnny over here. Jeepers creepers.
What the fuck is happening?
You should have been drinking more, buddy.
Yeah, you gotta work on that Miller High Life. Anyways, though, yeah.
Well,
So,
Johnny's great.
Welcome to the
Loving
Daily
Discord.
Wire.
He's great.
so
Oh,
to start the
Christ.
podcast, skip to minute
To
55.
55.
Time stamp included below.
Let's talk about the adorable
Let's talk about that
turtles.
turtle.
Yeah,
Turtle scene.
he was cool.
Yeah.
Could have used some big titties.
That's it.
That's my favorite.
Is he not turtly enough for your turtle?
There are so many, just kind of on that turtle thing though, there are so many moments where this movie feels like it's not gonna get dark,
No.
but it comes so close and it's really
Yeah.
just
That
like,
turtle
hey,
almost
hey,
being squished.
Hey, we're gonna get real dark. Just lying!
Lol, Jake.
Now Sonic's gonna take that turtle running,
Yep.
and then he's gonna accidentally let go,
Drop him.
And that's the thing. I think that's
and
kind
then
of
tell him it was a nice recovery.
that's the appeal of this film. Is that like I think you can play with that line between like silly and dark. And I mean, I don't know. That just should be acceptable. So
Sonic almost dies like so many.
so many, and
Just
it's
like,
so sad.
Oh, God.
His little battered, broken body.
Oh, Kitty, no.
No,
Kitty, no.
Kitty, no.
Oh, I loved him.
I love him rolled into his ball design.
so cute.
Is just the cute.
I just want to fucking kick it. When he's so cute.
Just pat it back and forth. Right.
To clarify,
What a fucking body.
When he's like in the attic and his little
put it in
ball
the bag and throw it in the lake. It's so cute. It's so cute. I just want to.
Oh, put him in a meat grinder.
No!
so just to clarify,
How do you use a wood chipper, you idiot?
You dummy.
You dumb.
Heather, you mean when he's rolled into a ball, right?
Joshua, why take it there? None of the rest of us took it there.
They took it somewhere far worse.
Yeah.
No, they were just talking about rolling him around like a little ball.
Yeah, it was
yeah,
so
right.
cute.
Yeah.
I want to kick it was his exact words.
I mean, I feel that
You
way
know
about
what?
a lot
That's
of
a
things.
real thing.
Yeah,
Things are so cute that you have to harm them.
It's like an
Some people want to
squishing
just
them
like
things.
squish
Squish it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a real thing.
I want to
Taking it to the gross place is not
wanted to
okay. This
squish
is an
it.
adorable child like hedgehog.
I want to wreck it. I want to ronk it.
I want to. Saying true. What? Sorry,
We're all Lenny from Mice with Man at some level.
Jesus.
This is a good movie. Yeah.
I liked it. I mean, again, so watching it today and literally watching it in like little 5 minutes bouts since we had to fast forward through it because we didn't have an hour 30 to wait. I really liked what I saw.
You did watch a lot of it.
I feel like I watched a lot
Saw
of it.
that. The
Yeah.
parts that matter.
I saw all the good stuff. I saw the turtle.
To
shoes.
give some a balance of perspectives, I do think in the second half some of the action beats aren't are really go on a little long and aren't really necessary.
We did
Like,
basically skip the entire second half for me, so not a lot of plot happened.
no, not a lot of story happens
Well,
there.
and there's a lot of.
It's a lot of dialogue.
Well, there's also a lot of the action scenes feel very like, okay, this was a big thing, and it's we're gonna jump back in, we're gonna do another thing. Oh, and then we get to the final conflict. It just,
which I guess is kind of like how the levels work, where you defeat the boss and
Just
then he disappears and then he comes
constantly
back
going.
as a bigger thing, and then you defeat that boss and he comes back again as a bigger thing.
Which is what I liked about the car chase, is that the robots just kept getting small. Like, it was the big thing he was driving, and then it was like a little chunk of the car, and then it was just a little drone, and then it was a little tiny drone out of the drone.
And then it was a bomb.
And then it was a bomb.
Oh, kitty, no.
No.
So cute.
No.
Kick it.
So what are some of the any other negatives we have? We got to balance out this. We've been pretty positive so far.
The only negative,
pretty positive.
the
so
only
far.
negative I had is I've only watched it once.
Didn't watch it with you.
Didn't get to see the whole thing.
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, I'll jump out and say that like, I mean, really judging this film from like knee jerk reaction just because I had to blow right through it. Some of the CG was rough, like real rough.
That's fair.
And not even Sonic, like the drones, like really anytime the drones were trying or having to interact with like real scenery, like like at the end when they were fucking around with like running up and down the skyscraper or like through the city streets where it was clearly everything is CG. Everything looked great, but in
Joe James Marsden in there.
oh, and then it looks even better.
I second that.
No, but I mean, I think that like, in the scenes where it was like a drone or a series of drones flying over or in front of like an actual, live.
Like through the forest.
Yeah, clearly, I don't think this was like up to snuff with like a lot of like your big blockbuster movies. But I mean, maybe I should just calm the fuck down and take it as it is.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
You were
I'm going to go
watching
out
that
on a
on
limb
Times
and
Screen.
say they literally had to be like, "You're done. Fix the hedgehog."
That's fair. Yeah, that's
Also,
true.
you watched that chunk of the movie on my iPhone.
No, but I mean, even on the
versus
TV,
the
even on the
TV.
TV. I mean, there's definitely scenes. Like, I mean, watching again the brawl in the whatever in the
bar.
kitchen. No, the kitchen. Like,
Kitchen where
yeah, just the
shooting
one.
at him and
Just the one drone.
Oh yeah. In the
I
house.
mean, it just like compared to any other big blockbuster movie, it looked a little unpolished. But I mean, I don't give a fuck. Like, am I going to get mad about that because it's a film that like tickled me a little bit in other areas? No, not at all. So I don't know. I'm nitpicking.
can't get mad about that.
Can't get
well,
mad about
again,
getting
like I
tickled.
said, like, and despite any shortcomings the movie has, like, I had a smile on my face the entire time.
I really we liked it a lot,
Yeah.
and it held Bennett's attention the entire time. And
I was-
to have a
Yeah.
live action movie that holds my 5-year-old's attention at all times.
Done.
It just doesn't happen.
No, like cost of admission easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that speaks to like in a positive, like the pacing of this movie. Like it moves at like a pace that a 5-year-old is going to be like, yeah, I'll watch the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
Without being like shrill and like the Minions, it's just like noise wall to wall.
Yeah.
Well, again, that I would say that in our definitions of like children's films, that is a film that is made for children, i.e., is made to sell merchandise.
That is
Well,
a product,
Yeah.
not
Yes.
a movie.
Yeah, and again, that's not a live action movie. Children are typically more engaged with anything that's animated. To have them actually pay attention through an entire live action movie that has CG in it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to watch Requiem for a Dream with Bennett the other day, and man, it did not hold his attention.
Not until that scene in the club at the end. Then he was.
Funny that you say that. Actually, that was like probably the first scene I actually had ever watched as a kid that introduced me to like anything sexual related. So for a long time, I just thought that's how people did it. Ass to ass.
Fair enough.
go.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
it's close.
I turned out fine.
Yeah.
Ass to ass.
Ass to ass.
I think the thing I appreciate most about this, especially in that the kitchen scene, is that the character
Of
like there's
Sonic.
of Sonic.
Okay, we're pivoting from Requiem.
We're going back to the
The thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
Cool.
is that there's actual like danger and like bullets are being shot. And,
yeah.
like, James Marsden could have his head blown off at any second.
Oh.
Were the film to tread
Have a
such
hard R rating.
Yeah, again, like knocking
This
on the
was-
door, being something dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I appreciate because again, like the MPAA is very strict about
Violence. And
sanding off all of the edges of things. Like
just wait until Shadow shows up. That fucker's edgy all over the place.
a movie like
So
Onward
edgy, bro.
So edgy, bro.
that is like Pixar movies that are like the safest of safe for kids, and yet they're all not all of them. There's rated PG, or like Disney cartoons are rated P. Like there are very few G-rated movies that aren't meant for 5 and younger,
Yeah.
which I think is like really weird. Because like you watch old PG movies and it's like full frontal nudity and violence and stuff. It's like, hey, well, that's weird. And now it's like PG means it's for like 6 to 10-year-olds. And you're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
So MPAA, stop.
Get your act together.
Yeah.
Get out.
Get this shit sanded down.
Take us back to the 80s where in a PG movie you could have Michael Keaton say nice fucking model.
Hong Kong. Side note to that, my little brother, when that movie came out, my little brother was like 4 years old. We just moved into these new apartments. He and I went down to meet like the apartment manager's kid and a bunch of the other kids in the apartment.
Oh my God, please tell me he yelled that.
And we're just talking and someone brings up Beetlejuice and my little brother, like, not missing a beat, just goes, nice fucking model. Grabs his dick and goes, honk, honk. Just as the manager comes out to like meet us. And it's just like colored like my parents, like a relationship.
You immediately had to move.
Yeah.
Like they just avoided.
Oh, that's awesome.
Time. Just like,
wait, Beetlejuice was PG-13?
PG-13 did not exist.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Damn.
yeah.
Wild. What a time. What time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
So one thing, just to, again, talk about the negatives of this film. Again, I mean, it sounds like the consensus. It's kind of hard to find them because I think this is, this is a film that knows what it is. I also would argue, however, that we went into this film knowing what it was. And there is another film that we talked about a while back. Actually, I didn't talk about it because I wasn't invited, but that's fine. There was a film that y'all talked about a while back, Detective Pikachu, which I feel like falls into a very similar category at this movie. But I feel like the shortcomings of that film were a little bit more apparent. Like, what do we think the differences are? In two movies, one of which, both, I'm sorry, arguably both are meant for kids. They're both kids' movies. I guess, like, what's the difference here?
For Sonic to be like Detective Pikachu, Sonic the Hedgehog would have to be about James Marsden.
Yep.
Where Sonic appears sometimes, doesn't really interact with much, is just kind of like a sidekick, and his existence does not impact the film very much. And the plot is James Marsden has to stop Jim Carrey from shooting a blue sky laser into the blue sky beam that's going to do a thing.
That's fair.
Which is my like, you take the Pokemon out of Detective Pikachu, you can still make that movie.
Yeah.
You take Sonic out of Sonic the Hedgehog, there's no movie.
There's no movie.
Yeah.
It's like Garfield. It's like Garfield out of Garfield.
Then you have a good time.
Exactly. You have a weird
much better time.
Very
a very weird.
I was gonna say, have we had a conversation about Detective Pikachu before?
I don't think so.
Okay, because I know I have talked about it on the podcast
Yeah.
probably a couple times, and me and Josue have had conversations about it. For me, the issue with Detective Pikachu is that the Pokemon don't actually feel like they exist in the world.
They're completely secondary to whatever they're trying to do. They're basically just inserted.
Yeah.
To basically have the show be called Pikachu.
Like they look like that. Too.
Yeah.
Like kind of to Josh's point, like they don't feel like they
both narratively and
but like when you look at them.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, they did my boy Gengar real dirty.
Oh
in that.
God,
it's the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
No, agreed.
He's like going from the cutest Pokemon, fuck Jigglypuff, to the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was just a bridge too far.
Yeah, no, it's rough. So that's fair, and I mean, I think again that just paints a little more clearly what's impressive about this film is because it takes something that it takes a character and kind of like Sonic, and kind of Gollumizes it, and that the big piece of like the second Lord of the Rings film was Gollum, and the fact that this character was fully fleshed out and actually looked real and had an impact on the story. Obviously, that's taken from the books, but I think if you're going to do a movie about a cartoon character, a video game character, having them actually have agency in the film is super important.
Pretty important.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that this film did really well.
Yeah. Also like there's a specific shot in Detective Pikachu. Any establishing shot they just forgot to tell the extras that they had a Pokemon with them.
Yeah.
But there's one shot at the end of the movie when the Pokemon are all separated from their people.
Yeah. I know exactly, and it's pulling out from the city after. Yeah, I think.
Not even that. It's like it's a crowd shot.
Yeah.
And it's all the extras are like standing up and like recombobulating themselves. And there's this one dude in the background who was like, I got this. I know what movie I'm in. I got this. I'm going to go for it. And you can literally see him like trying to comfort the Pokemon that he's pretending is there.
Yeah.
And like as he's like walking away in the crowd, you see him definitely put his hand like on the back of his Pokemon's head. And then the animators did him so dirty by putting his Pokemon on the fucking other side of him.
I was gonna say, I was like, the hand just went directly on Charizard's butt, and it got really weird. It was a whole campaign.
Yeah, it was just like, and so like watching it and just like looking for little things, and like they literally had a person like, trying,
and that person was uncredited James Marston doing his goddamn best.
Doing his goddamn best.
It's all.
And it's so like I feel like that is where it just seemed like the people even making the movie just had complete contempt for the fucking premise of the world they were trying to make.
Yeah. And I mean I do kind of wonder if this film succeeds too, because it's a little bit, maybe a little more contained. It's like, 3-4 actors maybe.
Has this gotten official confirmation that there will be a sequel?
I think so. I think they've said that they're working on it. Yeah.
I'm not sure what point of the process. It's on IMDb, but who knows what that means.
I think that
stuff is
Ghostbusters 3 is still on there. Gremlins 3 is still on there.
Oh.
Even though that's supposedly actually be made.
It's been on there.
I saw a trailer for Ghostbusters 3.
No, that's Ghostbusters Afterlife.
There it is.
Yeah.
Which I believe is
Never coming out.
Continuing.
2022.
Is continuing from Ghostbusters 2 versus being a reboot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just like
so we might not see Vakeman and all of those, but their names are there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
April 8th, 2022
I'm ready
is
for
the
it.
release date.
straight to HBO Max.
Is the tentative release date for the US for Sonic the Hedgehog?
Nope, straight to Paramount.
Paramount
it's
Plus,
Paramount.
baby.
Oh, God.
Oh,
You watch that and Picard.
Fuck me.
God.
So,
And they actually casted Tails in it.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
But who's Tails?
Colleen O'Shanahan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Qualeen O'Shanahan.
She's from Mass Effect.
yep. Yeah, I feel like she's in everything.
Yeah.
Like pretty much every video game.
Yeah.
I was really hoping it could just be like James Earl Jones.
See, my biggest concern was that they were going to be like, oh, okay, we got a green light for our next movie. We got to bring somebody in to be Tails. And they're going to be like, Elijah Wood as Tails.
I would watch that.
I would.
I mean,
watch that.
it would be perfect.
I just want a movie that has Elijah Wood playing playing Daniel Radcliffe, like not a character called Daniel
Playing Daniel Radcliffe.
actual Daniel
And Daniel Radcliffe playing Elijah Wood.
I mean, give him
Yeah.
enough time. I feel like that's the exact kind of weird ass indie, like those the exact same like Being John Malkovich kind of weird ass film that those two actors would do.
People want to campaign. They're campaigning for a Vin Diesel, Terry Crews
D&D movie.
D&D movie where they play D&D together, and they have to go investigate at a con, and the bad guy is Elijah Wood playing Daniel Radcliffe.
Wait.
And his sidekick is Elijah Wood played by Daniel Radcliffe.
I don't know how we got to this point,
A lot of mushrooms.
but I fucking love it.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I want a Mad World remake where Daniel Radcliffe and Elijah Wood and Tom Jane and Aaron Eckhart play brothers, and they're racing against each other.
I love it.
So Sonic, now we've reached a point in the episode where we have to decide, is it good actually? I'll start us off. I want to say, all things considered, yeah. It's not your Yogi Bear. Despite what the naysayers say, it's not Alvin and the Chipmunks and Yogi Bear level.
Poor Jason Lee.
Okay, you know what? The Squeakle wasn't great, but the first one also not great. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
So I'm gonna vote. My vote is yes. It is good actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with it's good actually. This is a movie that, like, if Bennett like caught this movie and like this was his movie for a while, I wouldn't be mad. I would probably also sit down and watch it with him a few times. So yeah, I would say it is good actually.
It's definitely better than Real Steel.
Get
And I haven't watched that film,
Or you haven't watched this one either, technically.
which is also true. No, I mean, I think it's pretty clear that this is a good enough film. I mean, it's not like breaking the mold by any means. Is this a film that I think has, forever, broken the video game movie curse in that, most video game movies that come out, aren't super great? No, not at all.
No, that was Monster Hunter. Parody.
Oh, God.
I still don't believe that has come out.
It
It's
has.
not a real movie.
that's not a real movie.
It has.
I
and
don't believe you.
and
I don't.
It's a movie.
by completely
I don't.
legal means, I have watched the subtitled version of that film.
No, like it doesn't
No, you
exist.
didn't.
It is
No.
one of those fucking
No.
Washington State lottery posters.
It's
It's just
Oh,
convincing
It is
enough.
the movie.
it's
It is
Shazam.
what you would do
it's
if you
it's
won the
Shazam
lottery.
with Sinbad. Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
go hunt
Wait, that's
monsters.
awesome.
That is
But
all
like,
that is.
it's that is all I can picture
Oh.
when I say, and I'm just expecting like Washington State Lottery at the bottom of the movie poster. every
Y'all
time I
don't
fucking see it.
realize how hard I'm gonna make y'all watch that.
I'm
movie
probably
and talk
gonna
about
watch it.
Absolutely.
Just
God.
because, like,
Absolutely.
Oh god!
And, you know-
I will watch anything you put on in front of me.
I will tell you all, unless there's something insane that comes through with like whatever the voice cast here does, like actually not a bad film. Is it dumb? Yes. Is it
Voice cast of a live action film?
Yeah.
So Tails and Rouge the Big Titty.
Are you talking about
Big-
Sonic or
Give
talking
me
about
that
Monster
too.
Hunter?
Monster Hunter.
That's a live action film, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Why
The
is there
voice
gonna be a
actors are
voice
the
act-
Well, I mean, I
voice
like,
actors are the people
like
on the screen.
I mean, like I haven't watched it in English. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You've watched a foreign dub of
Yes,
the movie.
a foreign dub of the film that was subtitled in English.
Did they
subtitled.
take out the racism or did they leave that in?
Oh no, they definitely left that in.
Cool.
They doubled down
Yikes.
because they actually spelt it out, literally and figuratively.
Yikes. Well, I mean, it's
Ooh.
subtitles, so that they have to.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
how
they did
words work.
So, Harley, is it good, actually?
Yeah.
Remember that half hour ago when we asked you if the movie was good? Actually,
No, Monster Hunter was great. Actually,
oh Christ!
Sway. Is it good, actually?
I like this one.
I will say it's good, but it's not something I feel like I could have missed this if I never watched. I don't feel like there's anything.
This film hasn't changed your life.
There's not one way or the other. Like I don't feel like it ruined anything for me. I
The-
don't
the
feel
thing to
like it
remember
gave
about-
me anything, but yeah,
I mean, the movie gave me hope for Rouge the Bad in real life. So I mean,
Yeah. Well, with this series,
Real
like,
life.
Rouge the big titty. Oh no!
So yeah,
with it's good, actually, like, the bar is an ever moving
it's
target.
It's
not
whether it's good or not.
like, it's probably very rarely going to be, this should have been nominated for an Academy Award type of deal.
No, and I don't think that either. I just
It's always going to be, it's good for what it was.
Schindler's List for babies.
For babies.
Citizen Kane, what are you, a pussy? Give me Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, not your dad's thing.
But I think, like, as we talked about earlier, like, I think a lot of people that didn't like this didn't like it because they're old as shit and it's a kids movie.
it's a kids movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good.
There are a lot
I don't
of
know
worse
that I'd
kids
sing
movies
it's
out there.
Praise, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It wasn't a cash. I didn't
Good.
feel like a cash grab.
No, not at all.
Some of
Still stuck on the I don't like that every Sonic adaptation has to give those rings some purpose outside.
That's fair.
Like
Yeah.
that is
And there are
you don't
definitely
need to.
lazy jokes in here too.
Yeah.
But
There's-
you know, it's a kid. Kids don't know any better.
Yeah.
They've never seen these jokes before. They don't know. Heather, is it good actually?
Nope.
Oh,
It's great, actually.
Just because the little sad blue boy.
Yeah, no, I actually really loved this movie, and I don't give two shits if it's juvenile or whatever the hell. I thought it was great. I had a good time watching it. I think that it was funny. I don't care if you didn't think the jokes landed. I thought they were fucking great. My kid thought they were great. I loved this movie, and I will happily be sitting and watching it again with my kid.
I almost cried over the kitty twice.
Yeah. Also, I got feels. I got feels from this movie, and I'm an easy crier, and I don't care.
Same.
Chili dog.
Chili dog.
Who's ready for chili dog?
I know.
Always.
The whisper as like, I think it's also because like Sonic's mental age, I don't know if it's his physical age, is very close to my own kids. And so like to have him be whispering as he's like tucking him in, I ate chili dogs. That's why my fart smelled. Like such a thing my kid would probably say.
Also, like, weirdly to connect this to another episode, but like talking about like being an easy crier, like when a film fails so spectacularly in actually getting you to that point, but talking about something makes you feel more emotions about it than the actual movie did. Referring to we last week talked about Dunkirk, where at no point during that movie did I actually feel any sort of emotions, but us talking about like the actual ramifications of that shit like got me there a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, huh, that's weird.
Yeah.
So to me, like, that's if a movie can actually do that, it either
actually gets you there.
It actually gets you there. Either I feel completely manipulated there. I
Waiting for that big titty bat.
I either feel completely manipulated, i.e. Wonder Woman 84, where that movie got me to that point with Alistair talking to his dad at the very end, but I also just felt manipulated by that point. Or something like this, we're just like his little broken body.
It's so sad. And really, his little cave, like, go back to your cave. Okay, I'll leave. And then they gave him his own little room, and it was
stuck him in the.
I know they stuck him in the attic, but they got him a race car bed that he didn't have
lived
before.
in the attic as well. It's
Exactly.
perfectly fine.
And they gave him the little window so he could like flip out of it really cute and come back. Like they gave him his freedom. They put him in the attic, but he had a way in and out.
Yeah. Not biological. It's fine.
Just the actress playing his sister. It's totally different.
From what I've seen on Pornhub, like stepsister is perfectly normal.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Oh my god.
What are we talking about?
Don't engage.
Don't. Yeah.
We're talking about flowers in the attic because they were actual siblings.
No. Let's talk about Greg Brady.
Flowers in the Attic starring Sonic and Tails. Nah, I would watch that.
I mean,
Oh God, no.
all it takes is a quick
No,
Google
it's
search,
not.
baby. Trust me, it's out there.
Yeah.
Little Sonic, I'm talking.
I
to
know. Me trying to search for the new photo of Lola Bunny, just totally off topic.
Yeah,
for this.
yeah.
Me trying to search for the new photo of Lola the Bunny, I had to be really careful because I know exactly what Google images are going to pop
Yep.
up.
No, you're getting on
Put it
the
in
list.
I was
dark
like,
mode.
Put it in dark mode.
Put it in dark mode. I don't have my safe search on, so I don't have safe search on, so I'm
The
like,
FBI
oh my
can
god, I'm
still
gonna
see it,
get some
baby.
shit.
Yeah. Just whatever you look for. Just look for the word DeviantArt underneath it. If you see that, then
Run.
Yep. Just throw your phone into the microwave.
Or just click on it.
you know what?
Or just follow.
Fucking click it.
Just follow your heart.
Follow.
Pleasure. Why
Like
not?
Sonic.
Follow
I
that
don't think
rabbit
it's
hole.
your heart.
Yeah, no.
Follow your heart on. Folks, thank you for
Hey.
listening to the Moist Boys
Big
podcast.
titty bat.
We've
Kitty bat.
got a lot of fun stuff left for the month. We've got Spirited Away.
Big titty bat.
And I think, again, we're recording this super early so we can get ahead of it. We've got Spirited Away, and I think Mortal Kombat is April.
That should be April? Yeah, that's the end of April.
Yeah, we're in April, so
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat is right around the corner.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat.
It's gonna suck.
How dare?
I guarantee you. I'm excited
I'm
to
not
watch it.
saying to
It is
create
gonna be
hundreds of email accounts so you can get infinite free trials of HBO Max, but I'm also not saying paying $16 a month is worth it for HBO Max, considering what their user interface is like.
Yeah.
At some point, we need to do an episode just about streaming services
I
and
feel like between all of the podcasts, we have got that material already.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do a supercut of us talking about.
A compilation.
Do you know what's
That's
easier
what a
than doing a
supercut
supercut
is, my
is?
guy.
Doing a whole new episode about
Yeah,
it.
probably.
Fucking doing
fair.
it.
Just do it.
Boy.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
So yeah, we've got that coming up,
Yeah.
and so yeah, fun stuff is going on.
Do it.
Head on over to moistboyspodcast.com to keep up on everything, and head over to our Instagram where we're always updating everything, putting out the newest teasers and letting you know what to watch when.
Dry guys t-shirt.
There is Dry Guys merch.
Don't encourage that.
Yeah.
There's stickers and t-shirts and keychains and all kinds of bullshit.
10 Dry Guy shirts sold, and we'll finally feature the Moist Boys on our podcast.
Oh my god.
Somehow on the same feed.
No.
It'll
just be a phone call that we'll record.
Folks, stay safe out there, and we'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love you.